Welcome to Your Thoughts, Your Reality with Michael Cole, the podcast that shines a compassionate light on the journey of veterans battling through life's challenges. Michael is a dual elite certified neuroencoding specialist in coaching and keynote training presentations, dedicated to guiding military veterans as they navigate the intricate pathways of post-deployment life. Join him as we delve into the profound realm of neuroencoding science, empowering these brave individuals to conquer universal battles, procrastination, self-doubt, fear, and more. Together, let's uncover the strength within you to re-engage with families and society, forging a new path forward.
Hello, everybody. So today we have a very special guest, and I'm super excited to have Leslie on here. Leslie Coffey is the Vice President of Military Engagement at American Corporate Partners, which is ACP. Dedicated 15 years to assisting service members and spouses transitioning into rewarding post-military careers. She's a military spouse of 28 years with firsthand experience of unique challenges of military life. And she's done all of the things that military spouses do with deployments and supporting people and all of that fun stuff. So Leslie, thank you for being on. I'm so honored to have you on today. So if you will, please tell us just a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. Thanks so much. So I am a veteran spouse now of my service member, just wrapped up 30 years in the spring. So we're adjusting to this side of the gates, if you will, after countless moves and everything that comes with deployments and everything like that for the military spouse journey. And I'm also very proud to help elevate the mission of ACP. ACP, what we focus on is combating underemployment for our veterans and spouses, one veteran and spouse at a time.
Yeah, fantastic. And I'm becoming a mentor with you with ACP, and I'm super excited to help and join that fight. So tell us a little bit more about ACP, if you will. Before we do that, what got you started with ACP specifically? I mean, what was hey, I need to help this organization. What started you with ACP?
Yeah, so I've actually been in transition for about 15 years. And there was a time back in 2017, I think I was running one of the largest transition centers out of Texas. And the Army called and said, it's time to move, of course. And so back then I known of ACP, but it was not available for spouses. So being the largest transition installation in the world, I would hand it out. I would share it. I would always recommend ACP because I've seen the incredible results that come from their program. Mm-hmm. And then fast forward, we were stationed in the middle of the Mojave Desert in 2018, and ACP announced they were going to be launching for spouses. And so I actually put a countdown app on my phone. I was one of the first spouses to apply because I wanted to be right there at the launch. Yeah. And the result of my mentorship from the middle of the desert was a 67% increase of pay.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So man, do you ever just think back and if that change didn't happen, where things would be, I mean, it's super cool.
Yes, that's so incredible because, then I had my master's and I had to keep starting over with every move. When you move, you don't have that network to get you that opportunity. You're rebuilding your foundation. I had 4 kids and we were robbing Peter to pay Paul. I mean, we were on the enlisted side. And so it was still paying for student loans, vehicles, all those things. I definitely have a history of food banks. All my kids were on WIC. So there's the opportunity and what came from my trajectory after that point, complete game changer.
I love it. And it brought us together.
That's right.
I absolutely love it. And by the way, Michael Pope, if you see this or see it later, thank you for bringing us together. Mr. Pope is a dear friend, and just so grateful to have him in my life as well. So, before we really dive in, I just want to remind people, because I always dive into the conversation and forget. On the top right-hand corner of your screen, there is a blue QR code. If you are listening to this on the podcast forums later. It is to empowerperformancestrategies.com. Again, empowerperformancestrategies.com. Please check it out. Join our community. There's free ebooks I've written. There's Facebook groups to, again, not feel alone, like you're just talking about solitude and those kinds of things. Be part of the group. Help everybody raise each other up and join the mission, if you will, please. So I just wanted to bring that up before we really dive in. And stay tuned, because at the end, Leslie's going to give us 3 tips to get veterans and their families further faster. So with that said, as a military spouse who's navigated numerous, again, relocations, deployments, what personal challenges did you face during those transitions, and how they influenced your approach to helping veterans and their families?
I think the biggest challenge for me was putting my goals, my professional goals, always took a back seat. I felt, as a spouse, you're so used to supporting your service member, you're so used to supporting the kids, and you're the only one, especially when they're deployed or training. And so, your goals and everything you pursued in your education, it always takes a back burner. So I think not feeling worthy enough and self-selecting out of some opportunities because I'm so used to pouring into my family and in the military's mission. I think that was probably the biggest setback.
Yeah. And thank you for your service. People forget, they're thinking about the military personnel. They forget what the families go through and the struggles and what they do. So thank you truly for your service as well, Leslie. So let's dive into something I know that was important to you, and I think we're going to talk about it later. But I want to get into it now, because the more you brought it up, the more I think it's important to really get into, and that's meaningful employment, which of course is what you guys do, and positive mental health outcomes. So I know this is near and dear to your heart. So talk to us a little bit about that. What does that mean? And then let's get into some tips.
Yeah. So often in the environment, when in the space where you talk about reducing soldier suicide, reducing veteran suicide, and the high rates and all of the different initiatives that are out there, what we're seeing is there's not that much of a conversation between the actual link post clinic, like the post clinical treatment or the post behavioral science and with counselors and whatnot. There's more work to be done after those treatments. And we're seeing it firsthand. We get the testimonies. Just finding your purpose and finding the right fit. With our program, we actually check back with all of our alumni, and 85% are still with the same company more than a year later. So the mentors are helping them find not only the right path, but also the right level, so they're not underemployed, in the right culture. With that trifecta, then that is where really that purpose comes in, and the positive mental health outcomes. This is not anecdotal, that we are hearing this constantly, and there's just not enough conversation out there about the link between the two.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree. This is one of the main things that I work with people with, is during that reintegration period, is having a support system, having a plan to go into employment before you're retire. These things are so important to that mental mindset, because if you're not, there's a honeymoon period, right? I think we've all seen it. I've seen the patterns. I'm a pattern studier, if you will, and I've seen the patterns of, you get out and woohoo, I love you, I missed you, all these things for a couple of weeks, and then as Les Brown says, life be lifing, life kicks in, right? And all of a sudden it's a different world and you're a little lost. I'm not saying everybody, so understand that when I say that, but I see the pattern more often than not, literally, and I'm sure you do as well. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I can speak from my own family's journey. As I said, we are integrating outside the gates after 30 years. And my service member, before those 30 years, the position he knew was White Castle. So he had no idea of the employment landscape, where his skills would fit in, what a team looks like outside of the military, how to find that purpose again. So just a total identity shift. So 1,000% I can agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about, if you will, and again, the questions are out the door already. I'm just going now. So, what are some of the skill sets that you see are the most important, if you will, or the most valued? Let's go that way. When a military veteran gets out and doesn't realize all of the assets he actually learned in the military.
Mm.
So let's talk about that, because I know that's super important, whether you're starting your own business as an entrepreneur or a corporation, or, a mom and pop store, whatever it is. I mean, there are so many skill sets. Let's talk about that on bringing that out and remembering they're an asset and you learned them.
Absolutely. So right off the bat, you kind of mentioned it, the entrepreneur piece. They have an entrepreneurial mindset, even if they don't start a business, even if they're going to work for a company. That is, their drive is so entrepreneurial in spirit, if you will. And then the adaptability, versatility, resilience, can handle uncertain environments. Everything has changed in the military. The commitment, the loyalty, and diverse. I mean, the military. They come from the most diverse teams out there. So they, they know how to work with diverse teams, with cross-functional teams. So I would say, and then also the millions of dollars that the government pours into training them. They don't recognize that training, it comes in. I mean, they are well trained. They have some of the most advanced training. So why not put it to use? The government's poured into them. So why not put it to good use?
Absolutely. And that's spot on. I mean, I couldn't agree more with you, Leslie. They have all these skill sets. It's just recognizing them. And here's what I generally suggest for veterans and for anybody for that matter. Stop and take a second and lean into, what am I good at? What did I learn? Am I a leader? Do I communicate well with people? Do I connect with people? Because how important is that in the workforce? Leadership, all of those things that you talked about, let alone the technical skill sets. Make a list. Just spend 10 minutes, 5 minutes, make a list, just so you start to realize, hey, wow, I'm a badass. I'm a rock star. I have these skill sets. And here's the neuroencoder in me. I'm sorry. Celebrate it.
Mm-hmm.
Literally pat yourself on the back. Stand up, shake your ass, get your physiology changed. It's called astitude. Leslie, sorry, you're new to this. But when you do that, it releases all these good hormones in your brain, and your brain starts going, what was that? That felt really good. And it starts to literally create new neural pathways and looks for that again. So, do those little things that really make a difference long term. Just a quick neuroencoding tip, if you will. So the assets and things, let's get into some of the things, of course, the ACP, because this is what we're here to really dive into, right? So talk about some of the and I've been doing the research, and again, I'm super excited to be part of it. The programs, and I know you have multiple programs, and let's talk about some of the things that you're most excited about, please.
Well, so the tool that we use to really combat underemployment is the customization. It's one-to-one, one mentor to one veteran, or one mentor to one military spouse for a year. It's a year-long journey of somebody pouring into you, sharing the tips and tricks and what lessons they've learned along the way, how to get into a career you're looking to break into, and then once you're there, thriving. Because it doesn't just stop landing the position, right? Then it's integrating performance reviews. They've not done civilian performance reviews, asking for a raise, salary negotiation, all of these things that are just completely foreign and completely new to somebody transitioning from the military. So our process, and I really think the magic sauce, and you'll learn this, is the human element. It's totally human driven. There's no AI involved. It is a person getting you on the phone, learning about you. They really do. We have a staff of 75, And they're all such dedicated, incredible professionals, many of which are spouses themselves and veterans. And, they just want to learn about you. They want to learn about your background, your interests, your goals, what you're looking to do next. And then if you're a mentor, they want to learn about where you're comfortable in mentoring. Again, your background, maybe you've pivoted in the past. Maybe you can speak on a couple of different careers because, obviously a veteran is transitioning and pivoting. So, but it is somebody that once they learn all about you, they actually do research, and it's totally human driven, and do a lot of research to identify who they think is the best fit for you to work with. So it's a lot more even than career path. It's actually personality, hobbies. We take so many things into account to make it the right fit. We've got 16 years of experience doing it. So we've kind of figured out the secret sauce.
That's fantastic. I love it. And so when you're connecting a mentor, and let me go back before I say this. It sounds like a lot, right? But it's exciting stuff, man. You get to do some really exciting stuff. And again, I'm going to ask you, you kind of work at your own pace, right? I mean, it's not, I just want people to understand, it's not like you're going to school, right? This is a work at your own pace. What's going to best fit for you so that you actually follow through and you're excited instead of, it being something you're not looking forward to. It can be fun. It can be exciting, right?
Absolutely. So our request is 1 hour a month. We currently have 5,000 active, what we call pairs. So mentor and veteran or mentor and spouse, 5,000 active. Everyone's journey is totally unique. Their season of life, their experience level, their education level, what they're working on, because everybody's journey is unique, right? And so their cadence is also unique. My service member, he met with his mentor every other Saturday. That's what worked for them. Again, our request is 1 hour a month. I can tell you as a mentor side, because I'm a mentor, it's so rewarding. When you see the epiphanies in your protege and you're talking through career exploration is a big piece, trying to figure out what makes sense and what's a good path. But when those light bulbs go off and that epiphany, and then they're just off to the races, so much fun. You get to celebrate along with them. You get to be that support system if they are getting crickets. And my service member had that support of his mentor was crucial in the beginning of this year.
Right. So, I mean, it sounds like so much fun. And let's look at it from the other side, right? Because I'm sure you're always looking for mentors and things as well. When you're of service, right? This is why we do this. So, what are some of the benefits? I know you see the excitement, you see those aha moments, which are amazing with anytime you're working or helping anybody in life, right? So, what are some of the other things that mentors might get out of your program?
Well, I can speak to myself, right? It's the ultimate fulfillment and for mentors that are not affiliated with the military, this is their way to give back. This is like their gratitude in action. It's doing a lot more than just saying thank you for your service. You are doing something tangible. And these relationships, I'm still in touch with my mentor 6 years later. So these relationships that develop, you can see them grow and transform over time. It just, the pride that beams within you when you see that transformation and that relationship develops, you really become like, that's my person, right? So proud and celebrating along the way. We love to celebrate along the way, but actually professional development wise, you learn about, if you're not military connected, it's a great way to learn things you never knew about some of the skill sets that veterans bring, and learn about their challenges, their unique challenges, as well as there's lots of studies shown for the professional development growth that happens with mentors within even their own companies and the way that they are elevated.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So I think when people are doing this kind of work, they, like, for instance, when I coach or doing trainings or whatever the case may be, I learn so much from other people too.
Yes.
And and that has helped me grow.
Yeah.
It's it goes absolutely both ways, because really it's a team, right? And it's really amazing when you have the aha moment. And it might be then, it might be a week later. It's like, I never thought of it that way. And all of a sudden it's like, that makes sense to me. Or,
Right.
hey, I'm changing something I'm doing, whatever the case may be. So it's rewarding all the way around. So
Absolutely.
I just want to say, mentors, business people, if you're ever thinking about doing something, get a hold of Leslie. It's an amazing organization. So both sides, obviously. So underemployment, let's, I know ACP, that's one of their main goals, right?
Mhm.
So how do you know you're underemployed? What's the
Well,
main thing? Yeah,
if
please.
we can really start with, say, the Department of Labor. The Department of Labor, when they're doing their statistics, when they're doing unemployment, right? And even for post-military, they don't differentiate between if you're a barista, nothing wrong with being a barista, but I'm just saying, as an
Right.
example of post-service, a barista, or if you're leading a team, a major project manager, operations manager within an organization. The employed is employed to them. And, they don't have to pay unemployment. So that's the statistic that matters the most for them.
Right.
But that is where, if you're not in a fulfilling position, how are you feeding your family? How are you providing? How are you continuing the lifestyle? And so I would say, if I can speak to the spouse side,
Please.
our spouses are actually at a higher level, more educated than our non-military peers.
Mhm.
So much more educated. As a matter of fact, there was a White House study back in 2016, so it's been a bit. And then over 20 years, a spouse was underemployed and earned $220,000 less than their peers in 20 years. So they were
Wow.
missing out on that much income. And that was 8 years ago. Imagine what it would be now. It would be
Right.
even more now. And our spouses are actually underemployed at a rate of greater than 70%.
Wow.
Unemployment is about 22, 24%.
Yeah.
Underemployment is upwards of 70% for
Wow.
spouses.
That's just astounding to me.
Mhm.
It's just astounding. So, how do we fix it? Where do you
Well,
start? I mean, you just
um,
getting involved in groups like this, yes? Is it
absolutely. You're going to see firsthand the talent. If you come in, for example, if you mentor a spouse or if you mentor a veteran, you're going to know right off the bat the level of untapped talent that exists.
Yeah.
If I can share in my own personal experience with my company.
Yeah.
So our founder took a chance and hired me. I was the first remote employee 3.5 years ago. We were headquartered in New York,
Wow.
and everyone always was in office.
Yeah.
And I was a chance. Within 18 months, he said, "We need more of you." And now we're over 30%. Over 30% of our staff are remote. And many of them have PCS and maintained their career. I PCS twice. And I've been able, because what we've proven is that we can do the position regardless of the location. We can do the job. We can make it happen. And so that's on the spouse side. On the veteran side, it's just getting to know them. Interacting with more veterans, you will see firsthand just everything is like speed 90. Which has been interesting for my service member, like his op tempo, going into a new organization, trying to learn. Not everybody goes 90 miles an hour. That's been a learning opportunity for him.
I love that you say learning opportunity. I truly do. Because that's what it's about, right? I mean, whether everybody thinks that when they make a mistake, it's a bad thing. It's not. It's a learning opportunity. That's how we learn. That's how we grow in life.
Mhm.
I mean, go back and look. You're a baby. How many times did you fall before you walked? But you
Right.
learned, right? And the important thing really is for your own mind and the people around you for instance, again, when you're that baby and you fall, you took one step and fell, did your parents go, bad, I can't believe you did that, you did it all wrong, blah, blah, blah? No, they were all celebrating, woohoo! Surround yourself with those people.
Mm-hmm.
Surround yourself with those people that celebrate all the victories.
Mm-hmm.
They're super important. So we're getting low on time. Definitely want to have you back on. So we got about 4 or 5 minutes left. Can you share with me a story that kind of hit you, dear to your heart,
Yeah.
of a success story that
Yes.
just like, yeah, this was the one?
Oh, there's so many. We're very, very
I'm
fortunate.
sure.
We're very, very fortunate. But I'll tell you a personal one. I received a message on LinkedIn on a Sunday afternoon. And so this veteran, he was transitioned. He's E4, didn't have a degree, had some college, wanted to get into cyber. And he messaged me out of the blue. And he said, "Happy Sunday, Leslie. Just wanted to check in with you. I know it's been a bit, but I wanted to let you know, when I met you and you convinced me to join, to give ACP a try as part of my journey, I was living in my truck eating MREs.
Mm.
And my mentor, we paired him with, so he's looking to get into cyber. We paired him with a senior information security analyst or something like that.
Just that?
Yes, something way above my pay grade. And he helped him to land his dream job at Leidos. And he's moving, when he messaged me, he was moving into his new apartment in Utah. So he went from, again, living in his truck, eating MREs, and landing his dream job, moving into his new apartment in Utah. And he just it was just the most beautiful blessing on a Sunday.
That's so fantastic. And it's funny because you have those people, right, that don't respond on things and are just kind of, they're watching, right? They're lurkers, if you will. But they're paying attention. You don't know. And then all of a sudden you just get this amazing, amazing surprise, right? What a blessing. That is absolutely fantastic. And thank you for sharing that. So with that said, I mean, you are doing such amazing work, and thank you for being out there and doing it. It's groups like, your group, and you personally, obviously, you have this amazing light, and you're out there doing all the right things for the people that matter. So I want to thank you for that. I want people to really know it's not work. It's so fulfilling and rewarding. It's just an amazing thing to do to help people, whether it be a veteran, a first responder, whatever the case may be. Take a minute and just say hi, and just let them be seen, and it makes such a difference. So I want to thank you for that. So with that said, how do people reach out to you?
Probably LinkedIn is going to be the best way.
Okay. Is it just Leslie Coffey or?
Leslie Coffey, call me MBA.
Okay, got it. Excellent. So, reach out, people, if you have questions, if you have anything, she's here to help you, So, of course, please do that. So with that said, we're at the end, and can you give us 3 tips to get veterans further fast and their families further fast?
So the first thing I'm going to say is don't self-select out. Go ahead and invest in yourself. When you have that time, that's the most important thing that you can never get back, right? And so I would say give it a chance. And especially for veterans, don't feel like you have to go through this journey alone. There's an entire tribe out here that wants nothing more than to help you. And we're here. We're here to pour into you. That is one of the biggest misses for veterans. They're so used to supporting the mission, and it's in the creed, right? And so actually turning that from we into me during their interviews, and a mentor can help you to coach you through your value proposition, how to best sell yourself, how to translate your military experience into something that 93% of America will understand. So I would say, don't self-select out. Don't feel like you have to go it alone. And then networking is not, and I'll share this because it's my spouse. He really felt salesy. He felt kind of slimy with networking. And what I had to express is that it's really just relationships, and it's getting to know people in their journey. You're just getting to know their stories, and you learn so much from them. And to get employment, especially today, it's not about really who you know, but who knows you. Who's going to be talking about you and sponsoring you on the inside? Who's going to be willing to put their name behind, their brand that they've been building, their professional identity behind you, because they know you and they can put that in there. So networking is it's not salesy. You're not trying to ask for a job. You're just learning. It's relationship building. It's a foundation of trust. And it's a two-way street. And really, it's about who knows you.
Yeah, I love that. I'd like to add, it's also, who do they know that you need to know?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And, I personally, I'll talk about this just for a second. I was not a fan of networking, right? I was not a fan until I realized you're just connecting with people, just like you're talking about, the podcast. The doors that have opened because of this podcast, it's been mind-boggling. And my life is so much more fulfilled and rich because of doing a podcast, just reaching out to people and having conversations, and doors open. So don't think of it as networking, just think of it as connecting. Like you said, I think it's absolutely fantastic.
You're just looking for commonalities. It could be on sports, it could be whatever. It's just your people, and you're looking to build that commonality and build that relationship.
Absolutely love it. Leslie, thank you. As I always say, time is the most precious resource we have as human beings. We do not ever get it back. Thank you for spending the time with me and our audience, and just getting the mission out there. So thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity. And once you have your protege, that's when we get back together, because I'd love to hear about your protege.
Absolutely. Maybe we'll all three be on.
There we go. I love it.
Absolutely. I'm super excited to be working with you. And guys, on that note, we're out of here.
Thank you for joining us on another insightful journey of Your Thoughts, Your Reality podcast with your host, Michael Cole. We hope the conversation sparked some thoughts that resonate with you. To dive deeper into empowering your thoughts and enhancing your reality, visit empowerperformancestrategies.com. Remember, your thoughts shape your reality, so make them count. Until next time, stay inspired and keep creating the reality you desire. Catch you on the next episode.